The image that you've seen are two men that have an incredible story, incredible testimony, an ongoing testimony. So recently, someone close to me got me a gift for Christmas, and it was a subscription to The Voice of the Martyrs. And I've never heard of it before, but she said that it was on her heart this year to give to this ministry. And I don't know anything about the ministry. From what I see, just from this little letter, it's crazy what's going on in the world, and we don't even know it. And so she got me this subscription, and I've gotten some magazines. I haven't really even had the chance to read through any yet, and I think I need to. And so today I decided to read this thing in the mail. So sorry that I haven't been paying attention to the gift. So I was reading through this, and it's talking about Ethiopia. And just the other day I was reading about Philip and the Ethiopian, and then it goes down and shows that the gospel was likely known in the area shortly after Christ's ascension. And then it quotes Acts chapter 8, verses 26 through 39, which was Philip met with the Ethiopian eunuch. And so this is modern day Ethiopia right now, and there are Islamic extremists. There's also there's different variations of Islam over there from just what I read. And these extremists, I forget what they call them, it starts with a W, I can't pronounce the word, but they persecute Christians, their businesses, their homes. And if they're known to be a Christian, and what's called in this article saying a biblical Christian, they will persecute you, they will kill you, they will burn your house down. And I just want to go help them. I want to go help rebuild. When I hear that, because I'm helpful. And so I'm reading all through this and learning in just a couple pages and my life and everything that's going on is like this big. All the things that we think are important become this big. That's just my perspective. That's just what I see when I'm focused on the church. So anyway, there's this church. It's called a Christian Orthodox church. It's different from biblical Christianity over there, is what they call it, like a biblical Christian. And it's actually following Jesus Christ. You're persecuted over there if you follow Jesus Christ. And so I was reading through all that. I'm not going to go through it all. But this little story on the back is called A Memorable Meeting with the Ethiopian Christian. And I'll read. As the pastor told the story of how he was beaten and imprisoned after leaving Islam and placing his faith in Jesus Christ, the evangelist who had brought us to meet him smiled and listened intently. Near the end of the interview, the two men stood side by side, Haja's arms draped loosely around the evangelist's shoulder. Then the pastor said something I'll never forget. I used to beat him. What? I used to beat him. Pastor Haja then explained that before coming to know Christ, he had been a committed, radical Muslim. He had led other young Muslims in attacks on Christians, especially those who shared the gospel, and specifically the man with whom he was now standing. Despite the beatings, the evangelist had refused to hate his attackers, instead offering blessings and love. Haja had no answer for such a response. How could a man you were beating show love for you? Eventually, the message of love and forgiveness softened Haja's hate-filled heart, and he became a follower of Christ. Then, predictably, the Muslims he had once led attacks on Christians, or the Muslims he had once led in attacks on Christians, turned on him, and in turn he found himself walking in his mentor's footsteps, showing love and forgiveness to his persecutors. In the years since my visit with Pastor Haja, persecution against Christians has increased significantly in Ethiopia. Whether the motivation is radical Islam or other false teachings, the result is the same. Homes are burned, churches are destroyed, and our brothers and sisters in Christ are beaten and even killed for professing faith in Christ. As you read this important update on Ethiopia, I hope you will join me in praying that God will sustain and encourage Christians there. And please pray that many who are persecuted today will, like Pastor Haja, become bold witnesses for Christ tomorrow. For Christ and his kingdom, Todd Nettleton, host of the Voice of the Martyrs radio. Blown away by that story. And here they are again. That's the gospel.